grandfather, may he rest in peace, he founded Coronado in 1941, and it was his dream. Our grandkids are not going to know where the fruits come from.
Welcome to Pallas Conversations. Meet your host Amos Hornstein from pallaslife.com, your international immigration partner, speaking with Roberto Eisenmann III, founder of Terra Viva, a sustainable living concept in Coronado. Let's get started.
We're here in Central Park of Terra Viva. Roberto, why does this development have its Central Park at all, and what is the story behind it?
I'm going to try to be in a nutshell, if you will. Basically, this stems from the fact, right in the midst of COVID, where I realized that we need to be back to nature and in nature. The Park of Fruits is an idea that was brought to me actually by a ban of fruit trees in Santa Maria that I couldn't comprehend, and I kind of said, in spite of that, one day I'm going to grow up and have my own land and have all the fruit trees possible to have, because I grew up in a time where you used to be in the street in the city and there were fruit trees all over the place.
In Panama City?
Yes, and nowadays you can't find any fruit trees, so you have to go to the Chinese store or to the supermarket to buy fruits. And now they chop them up and put them in a container, a plastic container.
Yeah.
So, I started thinking, our grandkids are not going to know where the fruits come from. So it just seemed to me that we had to sort of dignify the way we live, okay, and make a flip of what we have nowadays. We always think that exclusivity per se in home is having a big, huge home, okay, concrete, many meters of concrete, and very little environmental area.
Yeah.
So I said, exclusivity is the other way around, is to have a smaller size home, like European size, okay? Or you go to New York, for example.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And to have an enormous amount, very generous amount of environment area where we can sort of co-live, if you will, with animals, with fauna and flora in the environment. And that's basically where Terra Viva stems from, sort of against all odds, if you will.
Yeah, and against the ban of planting a mango tree in Santa Maria, right?
Mango trees or any kind of fruit trees. Because the thing was, they told me, my friend told me, golfers do not like it because basically the fruits fall from the tree, they get rotten, and then the flies come. Yeah, that's part of nature, So I set out this challenge, if you will, to have this central park in the midst of this 6 hectares small piece of land. And we have here 4,000 square meters with already 250 some fruit trees planted, 58 species and 85 varieties. And that's growing every day because people that fall in love with this are coming to tell me that they have a fruit tree that nobody has because they brought it from somewhere in the world back in the day. So this is growing as we speak. And not only fruits, but wooden trees and plants that are even medical plants because of the leaves. So this is very exciting.
And the people, they will live all around, basically on both sides of Central Park. People will have houses and live there. And how do you imagine this nature will change how people live here?
Well, this is beautiful. You see the model homes already finished, and 90% of our plots of land, the backyards, go right into Central Park. There is a prohibition of fences here or walls. So you have an inherent concept of community living here. You know, you'll have plants around each lot, okay, but not fences or walls. So you don't need a big piece of land because you have the privilege of being in Central Park.
Yes,
Right? Most of the land. Yeah.
we're here right in the center of Coronado, so
Yeah.
there's no need for fences.
No,
right?
at all. And we're right next to the golf course. And I have to tell you that this golf course is not just a golf course, it's a 50-year mature professional golf course designed by no less than Facio. Facio, 50 years ago, was amongst the 10 top golf course architects in the world. Now he's practically number one. So
Wow.
this is a signature golf course and it's right next to us. We're adjacent to the golf course.
And you have been knowing Coronado all your life, basically. So what does that mean for you, building a project right in the middle of Coronado?
Well, I have to tell you, we have my grandfather, may he rest in peace, he founded Coronado in 1941, and it was his dream. And we already stopped developing. Actually, we have perhaps 10% left of land. So to me, being able to purchase this land from my family and making this jewel, this gem of a project, sort of has a connection with keeping my grandfather's dream or extending it, if you will, a little bit more in that sense.
So what people do you imagine are best to live here? Who might be the most happiest by moving to Terra Viva?
I think that's a very interesting question. Two types of people, okay? And basically people with moral solvency, people with ethics, values, principles, a moral compass, if you will, and people that are in love or at least respect the environment and nature, flora, fauna, etc. Money is not even on the table. That's I don't think of people depending on how much money they have or not have. So what we're looking for is, as they say in North America, good eggs. You know, good-hearted people. Doesn't matter the race, the color, where they come from, what they speak, the religion, the gender, the disabilities. We all have disabilities. Age is not a factor. We might have a person just graduating from college wanting to live here as a bachelor, and we might have a 95-year-old lady who's widowed and is living her last day of her life in Terra Viva with a nurse or something, just breathing this beautiful air. So it's not really a matter of selecting what type of people, you know, it's good-hearted people.
You already mentioned the world-class golf course. We just heard some chicken and birds being around this place. What other activities can you do here in this area? What activities can residents enjoy?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, stemming from Terra Viva, you know, in Terra Viva, what we're going to have is all activities natural. We're going to have a Zen garden for you to be able to do yoga, etc. You have the Central Park to just connect with yourself or other people, but, you know, connect to life, you know, if you will. And over and above that, we'll have a greenery also if you want to do some planting and harvesting. But also you have then the golf club and the beach club. And every owner of Terra Viva is automatically a member of the golf course and the beach club. So over there you have the golf, for, you know, the tennis courts, the pools, paddle courts, you know, what have you. Or you can go to the beach. There's a dry forest reserve, also 53 hectares of land here. We can talk that in another time, but that's another, it's sort of a sister project that will adopt to Terra Viva, and unique in Panama, by the way. So there's a lot to do in Coronado. And elsewhere, if you go out of Coronado, then you have all kinds of activities, and you can go to El Valle, who's basically 45 minutes from Coronado, or you can go back to the city if you win. You will an hour or so when the roads are fixed.
Yes. And the houses are not as big as usual houses, and are all in a specific style. What was your inspiration for that?
It was basically, we wanted to sort of design European size homes, to kind of reduce the space, the living space inside, okay, to a home, a design that is contemporary, and not colonial. So it's a very fresh look. If you take a look at the home, it's kind of linear. I want to say that the design of our homes is basically very simple. The complex to it's the environment here. Because there's a lot to be done still.
Your project is really different from a lot of other projects here in Panama. How do you think will it change maybe the future of Panama, or how do you think will it be in the future?
I have actually gone against all odds, here. I'm actually fighting the current. Everything we've done here is against what is said in the market. So I humbly would love to see within a few years to have other developers have to basically emulate what we are doing here. And I'm not a genius, I'm just doing the things that I believe need to be done nowadays, okay? To be aligned with this green concept of living. And I would really feel honored if more developers sort of copy or emulate the formula that we've had in Terra Viva. I haven't invented anything, I just laid out the things as I believe they should be, in the order they should be, and that's all. So I'm, not too much merit. It's just doing things, having fun at it, by the way, and learning a lot from it. And so that's basically what I see.
Thank you so much, Robert. It was a real pleasure. And
Likewise.
I enjoyed the whole day with you, and I'm sure we will talk lots more.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you. Bye.